Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Villains on the Rebirth server. We are with our Mastermind Nightmare Lass, who is level 48, has over 32 million experience earned, 1.5 million to go to get to level 49 in the final power, which I'm not sure what it will be. We have nearly 100 million infamy now, and we are on a story arc. Let me just quickly adjust the sound because I had it a little too high. Alright. So we are on a story arc for Operative Grill, and this is apparently the last episode of that story arc. Trapdoor won't get away this time. I've had the boys at the lab whip up something new, a teleport suppression device. It sets up a passive teleportation disruptive field, key to Trapdoor's DNA signature, which disables long-range teleport so he can't escape again. Our operatives have spotted Cray smuggling him off the island. We've got a boat waiting for you at the docks. Intercept the ship and take him out once and for all. So, analysis of his abilities can unlock interesting new developments for Arachnos. You've been given the tools necessary to ensure success. Well, we don't have a superpower added, like a temporary power, so there's nothing we have to turn on. I guess he just won't be able to teleport away when we kill him off. We are at... Oops, wrong thing. We are at +0 because I don't know if he's going to be an elite boss. He was only a boss the last time. If he stays a boss, we could put it on +1, but I don't know whether it's going to upgrade him to an elite boss now, so we'll just leave it on +0 so that I don't have to redo the mission, because I really don't want to redo the mission. Alright, so we're at this ship. Cray are trying to get away, but we have reached the ship. And I don't really care about these guys on the outside, so we're just going to sneak in. And we'll summon our demons inside. We need to defeat Trapdoor and his allies. So we're going to go down here, bring our minions up, and then we will battle our way through the ship. It's going to probably be one of the bigger ships. Oh, maybe not. 3 or 4 container rooms, I guess. Here we go. Now everybody's summoned. We'll start putting buffs. And then off to fight the voltaic tanks. At least on +0, because we're doing ×2, it's still a little bit challenging. You know, it's not like when they're +1, but I still have to make sure I'm paying attention to healing and watching out a little bit and making sure we don't aggro extra spawns, because there are so many guys in one spawn that aggroing more than one would be difficult. And of course we did aggro more than one right here, but that's alright. Right, so it makes it more of a challenge. Come on, attack the same guy, guys. Come on. Mo's getting beat up a little bit. Man, there are a lot of these guys. Stay here. Stay here. Do not follow. Do not follow. Stay here. Stay here. Like, how many times do I have to hit this command? Do not follow. Stay here. Alright. That guy you can attack because he's near the edge. Alright. Now we should be okay. This is a mix of cryo and voltaic tanks, it looks like. With the cryos slowing us down and the voltaics doing stun or whatever. go, guys. Every once in a while, it seems like when I order the attack, it just takes them a second to do anything. They just sort of stare. Oh, there are more guys over here. They're going to be a bit of a pain because they're squeezed in between the structures. And now I am full on both recipes and salvage. But we don't have quite enough reward merits yet. We need 10 more to be able to make some more inventions. Some more like not the generic inventions, but the sets. This character is doing okay. We have, I think, 5 sets right now. Yes, I believe that's true. If we look, we've got 3 on this side and 2 on that side. Mostly bought with reward merits because it's very hard to buy set recipes on this server for any reasonable price, or even for any price, right? Even if you had 10 billion influence, some things just aren't for sale at all, or they come up for sale like once every 6 months or something. They're simply not available, and I already really don't like playing the market to begin with, and playing it more extremely where you have to worry about things only coming up for sale once every couple months is not appealing to me. So so let's see how far that one. So there's maybe 2 more of these container hold sections. No lieutenants or bosses yet in this mission, just minions. Of course, as I say that, there's a lieutenant. And there's one in the next spawn as well. Yeah, so one reason I'm not worrying that much about the salvage, normally what you want to try to do is clear out what you've got so you can keep collecting salvage. And one of the reasons I really don't care is because we're level 48 and a half. In terms of the reward merits, we're never going to get enough reward merits to get more than 1 set. And we probably have enough salvage to do that 1 set. And so it's not really necessary to hoard salvage because we won't need it. There's going to be 1 more set to do, and 3 or 4 more slots to do, right? If you count the level 49 slot that comes with the initial power, and then 3 slots that we get at 50. So there's a total of 10 enhancements I'm going to get. 1 for a set, and then maybe 4 more max. And that combined is, I have plenty of salvage for that, I think. Right? Especially in terms of like the orange salvage that you need. Somebody's coming. We're getting ambushed. Okay. That's no problem. Yeah, see, I saw the word balloons. I'm like, okay, who's talking? And I'm sleeping a little bit. That's okay. Well, again, as I mentioned in an earlier episode, one of the nice things about Mastermind is even when you're held or whatever, you're still allowed to issue orders to your minions, which is awesome. And now we're going to take out these guys because they're close enough that they could cause trouble as we wander around, so just take them out. I've really enjoyed this Mastermind. In many ways, it's a much more relaxed way to play because I don't worry about the individual attacks and stuff. I just worry about, oh, here we go, we're going to aggro. That's alright. I just worry about focusing fire, right? Just tell them who to attack, and then they worry about the details, right? And then otherwise, I just sort of heal bot. And it's a playstyle that I never actually played in live, or I never actually played ever, right? Like I've never been a heal oriented character ever. I've had characters that do some healing a little bit, to others, but not like where I'm the group healer. And so I've never really had the experience of really carefully paying attention to health bars and then making sure that health bars stay up for other people besides me. Usually my eye is looking up here to the right at my own health bar and not paying too much attention on the left to other people's health bars. You know, as a scrapper, you know, I glance at it, of course, because if I see somebody going in the red, I'll see, can I take the heat from whoever's beating them up and try to get them off the guy, you know. But you know, it's not something you spend a lot of mental effort on when you're a scrapper. You do when you're a tanker to some degree, but you can't directly affect it. You can only indirectly by taunting. But as a mastermind, right, I'm spending a huge amount of my time paying attention to these health bars. And I often, a couple times I've died, and if you go back and you can watch, I don't know which videos, but you can watch, it's happened a few times where I'm paying so much attention to these guys that I don't notice my own, what's going on? Is there somebody upstairs? I don't notice my own health bar going down up here because my health bar is not listed over here. Now in the normal group interface it is. I think you see your own health bar when you're in an actual group with other players, but for the pets you don't. And so it's often the case that I'm getting hit and I don't notice it until I see, you know, red numbers coming up over her head or something like that, because I'm usually busy focusing on the pets and controlling them. But I think overall it's a more relaxed way to play. You know, I only have to like hit the attack this guy button and then the heal button, and beyond that I don't really have to do a lot, you know, of button clicking, whereas with a scrapper you're mashing all of the attack buttons and potentially defense buttons, and that can get a little hectic. It's more relaxing, kind of, I think, to play as a mastermind. However, yes, it's more relaxing, but I also really enjoy the scrapper playstyle, and probably brute playstyle, as it's pretty much the same, as I've said before, and stalkers and so forth. I like all of that, so I miss it, and I'm enjoying this character, and I have no intention of stopping the character ahead of time, but I will be glad to get back to doing melee when the time comes. Just like as much as I enjoy flight, and I am enjoying it, I'll be glad to get back to super jump. Alright, this probably is the last room, I think. Yeah, it should be the end of it. Come on, guys, what are you doing? Fooling around. That guy should be dead already. Alright. I also have to say, high level game's awesome, but there's a part of me that misses the low level game and the care with which you have to approach missions when you're low level, and watching your character gain the most crucial and essential powers, as opposed to the high level game. And there's Trapdoor, the high level game where you're like, at least for me, I'm picking powers that I don't really even want because you have to pick a power, and I'm sitting there going, I wish you'd just give me more slots. And the low level game, yes, you need slots even more so, but you're also getting cool new powers at every level, every other level, and often getting your signature powers when you get to like 8th or 10th level, when you get to like 12th level, and especially in the 20s and 32 you get your signature powers, and so that's often really fun, and getting new powers is super cool, especially when you're getting your primaries and your secondaries, and these are the ones you took the power set to get, right? I mean, you know, teleport other is cool and all, and maybe, you know, tactics and what is it over here, maneuvers are cool, but they're not what I took my current power set to do, right? I took the current power set to control demons and whip things, you know, and so getting and heal. And so getting new healing powers or new demon buffing powers is super fun. Getting, hasten or something, yeah, it's alright. But it's not necessarily what I'm playing a demon mastermind to be able to do. Let's heal up Miney. There we go. Alright, now this guy needs to be teleported, because I don't want... Oh, they aggroed him. Took me too long to teleport him. Okay, let's get in there and start buffing. Heal first. Debuff. Go get him. And then we'll buff Curly. Takes a long time to do the buffing, which is part of the problem. But fortunately, we have another healer, Mo, I believe. And fortunately, he's just a boss. So it's not that big of a deal. And we've completed the story arc and gotten reward merits. Excellent. Good job, guys. Good job, little demon boys. Any more reward merits? We got 3. So we need 7 more. 7 more will get us, I think, the next enhancement set. So we'll have that actually in a couple days, because on Monday the server adds another veteran reward, and I can get a couple packs, and I should get some reward merits from that. But let's call our contact, who says... And you can see we're definitely off of bonus XP, because we were getting a couple levels ago like 120,000 XP for finishing a story arc, and now we got 64,000. And also they were buffing the infamy and prestige as well. So, we've got almost 600,000 prestige. I think we'll be at about 600,000 when we retire this character, which is pretty good for one character. Alright, Grillo says perfect. Trapdoor is nicely secured. Back in our Arachnos laboratories, and steps have been taken to ensure that he doesn't escape again. He definitely has powerful teleportation abilities. It's amazing what power the well can grant its users. Forget I said that, right, because he's now afraid I'm going to go get an incarnate power, but I'm not, because we're not doing that on this character. So he's got another mission for us. I think we're going to just keep doing his stuff, because it might be another story arc. Let's see if it is. I'll do a mission or 2 for him. If he doesn't give me any story arcs, then we'll stop recording. I'll get us to level 48, maybe using the newspaper or something to see if there's more. Maybe there might be another contact. I don't really know. And then when we come back at level 49, we will start with Ghost Widow. That won't get us to 50, and so I want to try Abyss. Just that her name being Abyss makes me want to, like, does she deal with demons? Maybe. Maybe. It would be really cool if we could do some demon stuff other than Circle of Thorns, but maybe it'll just be Circle, I don't know. So, Nemesis, I'd consider him and his troops comical if they weren't so deadly. Underneath their brass-plated armor, you'll sometimes find technology more advanced even than Arachnos can produce. The Warhulks, in particular, are of interest to Arachnos, so much so that we'd like to learn more about them. Of course, this involves engaging the Warhulks, destroying them, and getting tech samples from them. We've received word that Nemesis is raiding one of the local warehouses for supplies, and that their assault team includes a number of Warhulks. Intercept the Nemesis troops and collect the tech samples. You'll have 75 minutes. Okay, well that's fine, because we don't have 75 minutes anyway, and we've already been doing this for 18, so another 18 or so we want to stop. But before we do that, I am going to go to the town square here, and of course set this mission to +1. So we're going to be fighting some +2 Warhulks, and that should be a good challenge. We should have fun with that. Pardon me. Sorry, my got all tangled up in my headphone wire, which is super long. And let's go to level +1. Should be okay to do that. Hopefully it will set for us. And I won't bother teleporting straight over there because it's really close. So guys, we are, 3 beads from level 49. And that will be the last level in which we can gain experience in this version of the game. Now, on the Homecoming server, after 50th level, you keep gaining experience. You keep gaining fake levels called veteran levels. And those don't actually do anything. They're just sort of bragging rights. They don't make your character more powerful. But as you gain, because you're gaining experience, what they did on the Homecoming servers, they made it so that you can gain incarnate experience as well. And that allows you on the Homecoming server to unlock incarnate abilities. If that were possible here, I would do that with this character, because I think she absolutely would drink from the Well of Furies or whatever and try to become super powerful. Unlike my heroes who probably wouldn't, she absolutely would. And we could try doing some of the incarnate stuff, and it might be fun, especially with this character, because there are some really cool incarnate abilities that you can take that I think would be a really good complement to what she already has. But unfortunately, and there's a Warhulk. We need to defeat 3 Warhulks. It's just one boss. Okay. Unfortunately, we can't do the incarnate stuff here without doing the incarnate trials, and I have no interest. So, well, that's why we'll be stopping at level 50. And so whatever experience points are left on this level and the next are it. So essentially, what we have left are 13 beads, and we won't be gaining any more experience after that. Let me reduce their defense. Go after this guy. Now, what's going to happen here, one problem we're going to have here is we're going to have to resummon probably, because when these Warhulks die, they blow up. Now, you can see that happening in the Silver Phoenix video, and it almost never does anything to her because she dodges them. But our guys are not going to dodge. They're not going to be able to. And I'm actually going to back up a little bit because I don't want to die from the explosion. So my guess is our guys are, at least the little guys are going to get killed. Curly will probably survive it, but he's going to blow up right here. Watch. Boom. Yep. Okay, well, they didn't die. So we got a clue. And the clue says there are tech components taken from the Nemesis Grillo hopes to use. Okay, well, that's fine. You coming, Miney? Let's go. So one thing we got to watch out for is the lieutenants. It'll be super annoying if the lieutenants buff everybody in a spawn. So we have to... This is a case where we actually have to fight the lieutenants last rather than first, because they will buff. And then everybody becomes harder to hit. Now, we do have some help with maneuvers, and also I can try to debuff them with, I always forget the name of this power, Anguishing Cry. But we just want to make sure that we avoid it if possible, so that it doesn't make our lives more difficult. Alright, there's no reason to make your life artificially more difficult. Yeah, so that guy, the Colonel, we need to avoid knocking him out until everybody else is taken out. And one nice thing about this character is we could, well, he's a lieutenant, so it'd be harder. We could theoretically teleport him and kill him when he's far enough away from the other minions that he doesn't do anything to them, he doesn't buff them. I don't know if there's a Warhulk in there. I'm going to have to go in and look. So there's another Colonel. Again, we want to take him out last. Yeah, so it would work, theoretically, if you could teleport the Colonel or the various other lieutenants from the Nemesis. If you could... No, stay away from the Colonel. Stay away from him. If you could teleport him, getting him... Whoop, no. Darn it. I keep hitting the wrong tab. If you could get him away from them with a teleport, it would work to prevent the buffing. However, lieutenants have a very high resistance to teleport. And one of the things I did, the reason I shot out here and took a look, was to see, did he buff anybody in here? But they were far enough away that he doesn't seem to have. I'm actually going to see if there's even a Warhulk in there, and if there isn't, we're not going to bother going in. Because we just need to get the Warhulks. And we are technically on a time mission. I do not see any Warhulks in here. So we're going to leave this alone. And we're going to continue in the warehouse. Because there's no point to fighting them since they don't have a Warhulk in there. And there's another Warhulk. He's by himself? I can't believe that. Alright, well, let's buff up some... let's get some buffs going here. Curly. We can do World of Pain. And then that's probably enough for a red boss. And I'll come up and debuff him with Anguishing Cry. I am surprised he's completely by himself. I bet the rest of his spawn is upstairs. Oh, and he... Okay, so his explosion's not too bad. So that didn't count because we didn't take his buddies, you see? So even though we defeated a Warhulk, it only will count once we defeat his buddies. So these guys must be part of his spawn, but they spawned vertically up above him. Right, and so they didn't even see us when we attacked him, which was silly. Alright, so now we get credit. So I'll show you what happened. The Warhulk spawned here, right? On the x-axis, XY, he spawned here. The Dragoon spawned here, right? But because there's like a pole here, it put him up here. And the same thing with the other thing spawned over here, and because there are boxes and stuff here, the game put it up there, the Jaeger. So that's why he seemed to be alone. Come on, guys. And so you can see, and what's his name is having trouble, right? Miney or whatever is having trouble. He can't figure out how to get where he's supposed to be going. So now I'm going to have to try to direct him. Here. Did you figure it out? Okay, buddy. Alright. So there's one more Warhulk to fight. And we have plenty of time to do it. At least in terms of the mission timer. In terms of our actual time, we need to be starting to wrap this up soon, so hopefully we will find this guy in the next 10 minutes or so. And there is a Colonel. So again, those guys up there we do not need to fight. You guys are going to stay here, and I'm going to see if I can find him. So there's nobody down this way. There it is. Okay, so we got to come to the right. To the south. Alright, boys, come with me. Oh wait, they can't come with me. I'm still invisible. Can we get... We should be able to get past here without anybody seeing. Unless they do stupid things by the boxes and go out that way, but they didn't. Yeah, one of the problems is all the people running around, and sometimes the demons will bounce off of them and just go too close to another spawn or something. And one thing that is potentially dangerous for us as a mastermind is that all these attacks are AoEs, right? Area effect, which means if I'm in the midst of my minions and they get shot, I get hit too. Now this Colonel is probably going to buff those guys, but I think we can get through here without them seeing us. And he didn't buff them. Alright, good job, guys. Alright, so this is it. This should be the end of the mission, so let's go ahead and put our buffs on. And I don't need that green thing. The heal inspiration. Okay, in you go. Kill the Jaegers first. And then the Warhawk, and let me reduce his defense. And he was even knocked over. Excellent. Good job, guys. Get out of the radius just in case he blows up. And that is the mission. So let's head out. Now, I don't know if that's going to be starting a story arc or not, so let's take a look after we talk to our contact. We are not on a story arc. Tech samples are perfect. Snakes on Mercy Island. So these look like junk missions to me. It looks like we're done with Grillo. So, because he had to go after the snakes on Mercy Island last time. So I think that's going to be it for level 48. We are only 2 beads from the end. I'm going to do some newspaper missions off screen and see if I can get another contact, I guess. And then when we come back, we will do at level 49. We will finish up Ghost Widow. I think or are we done with Ghost Widow? No, we still have stuff to do. So we're gonna keep. Once we get to 49, we do Ghost Widow until she's done, and then once we're finished with Ghost Widow, if there's still space to get to level 50, we'll work on Abyss. And my guess is those are probably going to be our last 2 contacts. And that'll be it for this character. We have, what, 12 beads to go. Until next time, I am Scrapperlock, and this has been City of Villains on the Rebirth server.